And this afternoon, we're announcing new guidelines for every American to follow over the next 15 days. As we combat the virus, each and every one of us has a critical role to play in stopping the spread and transmission of the virus.
In a society where we see so much distance already, now we are physically distant. In a world where there is so much loneliness, now we're facing self-quarantines and isolation.
President Trump holding a lengthy news conference with an update on where we are with the fight against the coronavirus. The government essentially publishing a set of new guidelines. Many have already been surpassed by some things that we've seen on the state and local level. Perhaps the only major difference is now a suggestion that people not gather in groups larger than 10, and that's certainly consistent again with some other things we've seen happening around the country. As the president was talking, the market was in a free fall. The Dow losing down almost 3,000 points. I missed the percentage. I think about 13% loss there. The S&P down 324.
Encouragement. So I will transfer you my energy. I will transfer my karma. Here is my karma on you. You have a great aura. Encouragement. Yes.
On today's show, we talk about navigating the corona economy. How do you succeed in a world filled with fear? How do you persevere in a world where most people believe that tomorrow is going to be worse than today? On today's show, we talk about the importance of faith, the importance of believing that you can succeed, and we are going to supply you with that encouragement that you need to succeed and lead in this world of the coronavirus.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, 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 and yes. Z, I'm thinking of a song right now, and it goes like this. Do 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 do. My corona. Do 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 do. My corona. Too soon, but too relevant. So the show we're doing today is about fighting fear, false evidence appearing real. And so I'm going to start off with some facts, and we have Paul on the show. He's a CPA. I'm going to give some facts. We've got Josh with Living Water on the show here. I'm just going to give some facts. And Z, you did study mathematics in college as well as becoming an optometrist. Am I correct?
That is correct. I do have a bachelor's of science in the art of mathematics.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off every fact. And what's going to happen is, Z, if you disagree with the fact, that's fine. And you can say that's not a fact. That's fine. It's like how political debates should be, but they're not. And then we're going to toss it over for Paul Hood to give us a hot take on it. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. Josh can chime with a hot take. So here we go. Right now in America today, according to the U.S. Census, I put a link on the show notes, there's 329 million Americans. Do you agree with that perceived fact, Dr. Z?
Yes, that is close enough for hand grenades and horseshoes to count. I'm sure it's not exactly the number, but it's close.
China has 1.389 billion people. Does that sound accurate to you, sir?
Yes, and they have a lot more rice, too, if you're counting.
Now, in 1900, the life expectancy of the average American was 46.3 years in age. Do you agree with that?
Wow, where'd you get that fact from?
All of these things, I'm citing all of these things on the show notes. This comes from the census.gov, so I'm citing all this stuff.
Yes, then I will agree with that.
Okay. Now, in 1999, the West Nile virus. Paul Hood, do you remember the West Nile virus?
I remember the name, but it's in past, so I have no recollection of what happened.
Well, and maybe this will be truthiness then. But the West Nile virus is an infectious disease that first appeared in the United States in 1999. and the infectious mosquitoes spread the virus that caused it. And I remember very well when I was in high school, it was a panicky situation. Do you remember this, Dr.
I
Z?
do.
People were panicking about this. And
especially since mosquitoes love me so much. I had a higher than average risk for catching West Nile.
They love your body.
They do.
Now, 1999 through 2000, Paul, do you remember Y2K?
I remember Y2K.
Josh, do you remember Y2K?
Yeah, I was in the military in Vegas during Y2K, and it was pandemonium on the strip. I mean,
See?
pandemonium.
Is that a boy band? Well, I'm trying to think. Y2K. Was that the? Was that a boy band?
I think that was an early boy band that never really quite got off the.
Yeah.
Now, there was rumors of its contagiousness, but it did not spread.
It didn't spread.
So Y2K, it was a shorthand term for the year 2000, commonly used to refer to a widespread computer programming shortcut that was expected to cause havoc as the year changed from 99 to 2000. And it did not do it. But you remember, Z, when people were panicked about it?
Yes, and people very close to me, I won't name names, but people very close to me were stockpiling bottled water, beans, and other sundries in their garage. And I was just shaking my head going, are you absolutely cray-cray?
Now I'm going to fire through a lot of facts and we'll open it up for discussion here, okay? So September 11th, the day that will forever live in infamy, we all know that 2,997 people lost their lives. We all know that $10 billion of infrastructure was damaged. We all know people who freaked out and thought it was the end of the world. 2011, September 2011. Z, do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I remember where I was. Do you remember where you were? I was actually on a cruise. I was on an Alaska cruise. It was a Tuesday morning, and they didn't have many channels on the TV on the cruise ship. I remember waking up in the morning, rolling over, and seeing that second building get hit, and think, "Wow, our country's under attack."
I was at Oklahoma State University in 2001, September 11th, and they stopped classes to watch the thing happen, and we saw the second tower collapse. We saw the plane hit the tower on TV. That was wild. Then 2001, that same year, we had the anthrax scare, right?
I remember that. You couldn't open a package.
2002, we had the SARS scare. So far, does anybody refute any of these things? I mean, Josh, so far, do you refute any of these?
I count them all as fact thus far, sir.
Paul, with Hood CPAs, you're an accountant. You're a very accurate man. Do you refute anything I'm saying so far?
I totally agree. It all fact checks.
Okay.
Now, one thing I have to point out that I really want to, I don't want to spend a lot of time on.
Sure.
But the idea that Josh would be on the strip for Y2K is pandemonium. Is there any time you're on the strip of Las Vegas that it's not pandemonium?
Well, no, this was super intense, Dr. Zoellner. Everybody thought there was 10 seconds of life left.
How did that look? I mean, were people just like running around and stealing chips and shooting each other and jumping the fountain of Bellagio?
I was right in front of the MGM. There was a gentleman who climbed up the stoplight.
Okay.
And he climbed up there, and he's up there, and he's counting it down. 10, 9.
No way.
He loses his balance at like 6.
Oh, no.
Nobody caught him. Nobody.
Ouch.
Nothing. It just spread like the Red Sea.
Oh, no. That is bad.
Are you being serious?
That is pandemonium.
I'm dead serious.
What a downer.
Dead serious.
That is.
So we move on.
But we lived through it. We lived through it.
We did.
2002, SARS. Remember this?
Oh, yeah, SARS.
People were worried about this respiratory infection. 2010, H1N1. Do you remember this, Paul? H1N1?
I do.
Is this a fact?
Called that the swine flu, didn't
The
they?
swine flu.
Swine flu.
And the facts I have gathered here, I gathered the facts from the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. They estimate, check out these estimates, between 43 million and 89 million people were infected. They believe it. That's a big range, 43 million to 89 million.
Right.
Of a population of 330 million. We know that 12,469 people died, which was 34 people per day at the peak of the swine flu. Again, Z, would you agree with these facts?
Yes, I do.
And Josh, you can see the links on the CDC website.
Oh, it's accurate. It's right there.
Okay, so here we go. Now, 2018, the flu was a thing. 2018, there was the flu, and the flu of 2018, and most years, by the way, takes out an average of about 160 people a day. 61,000 people died of the flu in 2018. I've got the links here. Can you see the links there? Can you see these things? Paul, can you see these things?
I can.
Okay, so these are all facts. So now, 2018, I got a link here to CNBC. They showed that in 2018, 250,000 people died from accidents in hospitals where somebody hit the oops button, Z.
Oops.
They said, oops. They go, hey, did you turn that guy's respirator on?
Oops.
So that's 684 people a day are dying from oops. Now we got the coronavirus.
Can we really call it? It's COVID-19.
My COVID-19. Now, so far, as of the time of we're recording today's show, which is going to go out tomorrow, this is March 16th, 69 deaths in 55 days. That's 1.25 deaths per day. So in 2019, how many people died, and someone should write these things down, how many people died from homicides in 2019? Oh, I know, because I'm the fun guy. 3,996 people died from homicides. Car wrecks, 38,800 people died. So heart disease killed 647,000 people from heart disease last year. So I have a plan. See, I have a plan, and then you and Paul and Josh can help me see if this is a good plan.
You know, you actually missed a very big thing in our lives, too. HIV. I remember HIV was almost,
HIV.
it was almost like you couldn't even look at somebody. There was a period of time when it was like, it was
people would not play basketball with Magic Johnson.
I know.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Oh my gosh, it was like I forget the year on that.
Karl Malone would not get on the court.
I'm surprised that wasn't on your wonderful plague doctrine that you went through.
These are the things I try not to focus on at all. So I'm going to give you my plan, and Paul, you can tell me if you agree with the plan. Take it all in. Here we go.
I'm taking notes.
Here's my plan. Step one. We know that 1,772 people die per day from heart disease.
Yes.
So we need to ban all fast food. 167 people die per day from the flu. So we need to ban all events.
All events.
104 people die per day in car accidents. So let's just ban cars.
In fact, can I have my mic move farther away from you at this point?
I
need more social distancing.
10.9 people die per day from homicide. So we need to ban guns. And because the coronavirus has killed 1.25 people per day, we need to just ban everything.
Out.
So,
just a blanket policy.
Paul, you've been on the planet longer than I have. What's your take on this? Because so many people have been texting me saying, Clay, what do we do? What should we do? We are speaking to the lives of about 500,000 people. Seriously, what do you think should be done? Because right now, fear is false evidence appearing real.
That's
and
right.
Fear kills capital. Fear kills success. Fear kills dreams, hope. What's your take on this?
Well, we face this every day, and it's in business or in marriage or in raising your kids. People fear the unknown. And, my Bible teaches me not to have a spirit of fear, and it talks about that basically we should make decisions today based on the best facts today and not project out a tomorrow that's full of fear and based on what we don't know. Because what we expect or what we fear is always 1,000 times worse than what actually happens. So my deal on it is just, it's one of those situations to where people are just being plain silly. I'm sorry, Clay, but they're being silly, and they're the stock market and all the things that's going on. But the reality is Warren Buffett has a saying, Clay, and he says the stock market is a place for the transfer of money between patient and impatient people. And so what's going on right now is people are making rash decisions. They're making decisions based on fear, based on emotion, instead of what's the value of what's out there. And so, Warren Buffett also says that when other people are greedy, be fearful. When other people are fearful, be greedy. And so this is a great opportunity for people. But people are going to miss. There's just like everything else in life. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers financially. But the reality is people are going to get sick with this. And from what I read, I'm not a doctor, but from what I read, the occurrences and the bad part of it is dramatically less than the flu. And frankly, from what I hear about it, I'd rather have it than the flu. And you'd really need toilet paper with the flu, but you probably don't with this thing.
Now, I led with the facts. I led with all the facts here. So I'm going to go with Z. You're going to get to chime in here. And then Josh, whatever he says, one up him. I mean,
absolutely.
The guy has a very successful optometry clinic.
Just crush me.
He has an auto auction.
A bank.
He's an optometrist. He owns a bank, but he's not a certified expert of the corona.
No.
My corona. So Z.
Hang on, Josh, don't underestimate him, though.
Okay.
I've seen him. He's like Yoda with knowledge, so don't underestimate him.
Z, what's your take on the coronavirus and how the listeners out there should be responding to it? Because, again, everybody 10 years ago did not have their own television network called Facebook. They didn't have the ability to pontificate 24/7. They weren't connected to social media 11.3 hours per day. Hold nothing back, my friend, and I will run for cover.
You know, whenever you see a new strain of the flu, you know, when they do the flu shot every year, they do it because they know the flu, the influenza, you know, morphs and comes out with different versions of itself every year. And so what they do is they kind of see the trend of what's going around the world, and they come out with the virus, and they come out with a shot for it.
Yep.
And you hope when you get your flu shot that you covered the ones that are coming through the United States this year,
Got
right?
it.
Right?
Right.
And everybody in this room's had the flu, right?
I've
At some
had the
point in
flu.
our life,
Yes,
I
sir.
mean,
It was beautiful.
yeah, you've had a virus. Have you had a sore
Sure.
throat?
Sure.
Have you had a virus? You know,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
you probably had
a
one.
virus right now.
You probably had one of the versions of a coronavirus. I mean, a lot of times people have a sore throat and be, you know, a little sick for a day or two. It's not COVID-19. I want to, you know, there are different versions of that family of viruses. And I kind of scratched my head. I was just wondering today. I've had several people reach out to me and ask me, and I go, why is this one so celebrated by the media? Why is this one so kind of lifted up? I mean, from October of last year to February of this year, anywhere from 12 to 30,000 people died of the flu, influenza. And different strains of that did that.
167 people per day.
Right.
Okay.
And we don't pull out that strain and go, oh my gosh, social distancing, wash your hands, shut down businesses, stop all concerts.
1,700 people a day die from heart disease. I think we should run around and tell people stop eating that.
Well, I mean,
Stop it.
That's
Just
probably,
knock
put it
French
down.
fries
that's
out.
probably true. But the thing about it is, people have to understand the viruses don't develop to kill people. Viruses, they don't want the dead host. They don't want to kill you.
Well, now
They
you're
want you to
getting
be
into science.
alive so you can spread them around. You know, that's what their whole thing is. So it's only people that are immunocompromised. It's only people that are not healthy themselves that succumb to these viruses. That's why we have so many people die every year of the flu. And why has that not been an epidemic? Why has that not been talked about for years?
Well, this is the same. This is the same media, though. That remember when Trump-tastic was elected, many people on the media were talking about, if you watch the television, that we should shut down colleges to allow the students to mourn the loss of a Democrat
space.
president, right? I mean, it's the same media that likes to get. You know, I think don't they make money if we all watch Fox and CNN? Isn't that a move?
It must be a move, and you got to
Okay.
follow on these things. You got to follow the money, because I'm sitting there going, "What is this?" I mean, the economic impact of this pandemic is what they're calling it, which is I don't agree with, and like I saw a little bit of the Trump's news brief today, and you had several doctors on there saying, "Well, if you think we're overreacting, then we're probably doing just exactly what we need to do." And I'm kind of going, you know, really? And they said, well, all the young people and healthy people, you'll be fine. It's just we don't want you to spread this to the elderly and the sick. And I go, isn't that the way it is with every flu bug that comes around every year?
Right.
I mean, that's
whenever I'm sick, I immediately run to the nursing homes to spread the good news. That's what I've always
I
done
mean,
before.
and
I
we
normally
don't.
never wash my hands, and so this is a new thing. I've decided this week I'm going to do it. I'm going to quit going to the nursing homes if I feel sick. I'm changing my life.
Google, how many people died in the U.S. alone last year from the flu? How many?
From the flu, the best stats I have here for you would be the flu itself in 2018 killed a total of 61,099 people. 167 people per day. And the swine flu of 2009, when we did not have the social media like we have now, in 2009, the swine flu infected, according to the CDC, between 43.3 million and 89.3 million people, thus killing 12,469 people, or 34 people a day. And so when you think about, I mean, there's 10 people who die a day of homicides in the U.S. Josh, you install sprinklers for a living.
Yes, sir.
Which is why I lift you up and I say, America lends its ear
America.
to you and says,
Wow.
you are good at installing sprinklers.
Sure.
Tell us how you're processing, because you're a small business owner.
Right.
How are you processing this? Are you mourning? Are you lamenting? Are you hugging
Are you
Paul
shutting
Hood a
down?
lot?
Are
What are you
stopping
shutting it
the
down?
flow of water? What's going on?
What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I know that I'm a bigger expert on this than Dr. Zoellner.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, obviously.
I'm not.
I
I'm
mean,
just asking.
obviously.
How are you processing this?
Obviously.
What are you doing?
So, I mean, for us, we're not doing anything different.
What?
I mean, I don't know if I should say that. I mean, I will say this as
Oh,
a
my
Christian
goodness.
that
Calling the CDC on you.
one loss of life is too many. I will absolutely positively say that.
You're
And
gonna make a
I do
point
not
for
want
that.
to
Make a point.
trivialize anything or
No.
anything at all. And I did have a Monday morning meeting with our team and said, hey, we're going to go to work. And if that's a problem for anyone, please let me know. And we will absolutely discuss that in the kindest, most gentlest, beautiful way I can. But we went to work. We sold some sprinklers today. It was rainy, so we didn't get any installed, but we did go service some, and we made some phone calls today. We scheduled some appointments. We just went to work, sir.
Paul Hood, I want to get your take on this. You're a CPA.
Yes.
You have thousands of great clients at hoodcpas.com.
Yes.
That's great. You're good with the numbers. You're good with the accounting, filing taxes. They say there's two things you can count on, Paul.
Yep.
Death and taxes.
Right.
So talk to us. What's your take on this? How should the business owners out there be reacting from your take?
Well, we're there's two sides to everything, and there's the emotional side, and then there's the actual logic involved here. But the bottom line is as business owners, we have to address both. And so what we're doing is I want to protect my staff because those are my workhorses. Those are the people that I need to protect. And often I need to protect them from clients that are coming in. And so, we're doing things like making sure all our staff have, the little antiseptic, hand rub and
hand
all that
sanitizers.
kind of hand
Yeah,
sanitizer.
beautiful, yeah.
They're wiping off the door handles, but we're also going further, and we're contacting our clients because whether this is real or if it's just blown up, which it is, by the media, our small business clients have to address this. And so we're helping them figure out what do they do, if they have to send their workers home, if they have to, how do they take advantage of Trump saying that for small to mid-sized companies, he'll help pay for their time off. How do you take advantage of of not having to pay the interest on your student loans? So there's opportunity and there's things that we have to do for our clients to teach them to do things. But the bottom line is we have to teach our clients how to hunker down and make it through, the things that are going to happen the next 8 weeks, whether the media is blowing it out of proportion for political reasons or whatever, which they are. We still have to address it.
I have a music here to cue up Steve Currington's appearance on the Thrive Time Show. This guy wrapped his Lamborghini with a Donald Trump wrap. He clearly has no regard for his safety or the safety of others. So let me.
He's probably going to now wrap it with COVID-19 or something. I don't know. He's probably
great idea,
Steve.
Dr. C.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
This is your music. I give this music to you.
Oh, nice.
What is your take right now on how we should be handling this situation? What should we do?
I think if there's a time to turn off your notifications for social media, today's the day. And I think since so many people are freaking out, it's a really good time. I built my mortgage company in the last recession. That's like when we built it. So in 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, whenever everybody was freaking out and jumping off bridges, we were picking up market share.
Could you
and closing
please
more
say
loans.
the optimistic things you're saying in a more of a scary tone, please? I think the listeners out there are trying. We're trying to be fear mongering
you're
here.
Actually, taking some fear away from me, which I don't know is good.
I'm excited about this. I don't know if I can be fearful. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can. You listen to me. Get off social media.
I heard a commercial on Sports Talk. My wife and I want to get my wife on the mic real quick if I can. We're in the vehicle listening to Sports Talk Radio. Z, have you heard these Sports Talk Radio commercials? Have you seen these things?
No.
We're on the road. We're listening to Sports Talk Radio, and it's like I can't remember what it was. It was Fox or ESPN or somebody, and they're like, "Attention, sports fans, we're gonna make it through this tough time together." But the music that was being played was this like end times music, like,
"Oh yeah,
attention, sports fans,
attention,
we'll make it through this time together."
Hey, a friend of mine messaged me the other day and said, "Dude, there's been no sports on. It's been crazy." And today I sat down and there was this lady on my couch. It turns out I'm married to her. She's actually pretty cool. I talked to her for like an hour today.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That's
wow.
great.
My core message, and I'll let Z one-up me here. My core message I want to share today is I think that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. And if you look at history, when Britain was being bombed by the Nazis, Winston Churchill, the prime minister, hopped up on the mic and told everybody, be calm and carry on. And you can't just hide from life for the next 60 days. I mean, the average American, Paul, according to Forbes has a study on this, they have less than $400 saved.
Right.
The average American has less than $400 saved.
Yep.
So you're screwed anyway.
How long are you going to hide? You going to hide for 10 minutes?
You're right.
Are you going to hide for a week? I mean, you got to participate in certain aspects of life, and for all that is holy, stop hoarding.
Well, Clay, but Winston Churchill didn't have this horde of fearmongers that are just throwing stuff out every day, and then a population that it's kind of like they're sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for the next little bit. But the bottom line is for instance, news sells. They get their ratings when things are bad. Travis Meyer, he's popular. People watch him when there's storms on the horizon.
Oh yeah, tornado time. Let's go.
Tornado time. Let's watch him. So this is what they do, and this is what they feed on, and it's fear based and it's total BS. Yes, it is going on. And we do have to be concerned about it. You should be washing your hands anyway. Maybe you should elbow bump for a while instead of, shaking hands.
Instead of making out.
Z and
I stopped making out over this whole thing. We were worried.
That's my biggest fear.
The virus
That's not what I saw when I walked in the studio. I just
you weren't
stopped
supposed
making
to
out.
be here yet.
Just want to get the
and we
get
no
over
longer
with.
share a megaphone. We have our own megaphone. We won't share it.
Yeah, we can't share a megaphone.
That's
which
new things we're
is
doing.
very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Freaking media messing up everything.
Yes. Okay. So I have 3 action items, Z, and no matter what I give the listeners, you can one-up me, okay?
Okay,
Here we go. Before we
that's
wrap
fair.
up today's show.
That's
Here we go.
fair. That's fair.
Action item number 1. Buy 50% off discounted stock if you can from fundamentally successful companies. My wife and I bought a bunch of Carnival stock. Do that. Why? It's like 80% off. If you can afford it, do it. I mean, even if the economy only rebounds to half of what it once was, that's a great deal. Buy 50% discounted stock if the company's fundamentally sound, as in like they've been around for a long time.
Right.
2, show cleanliness. If people are a little bit worried, don't be the guy coughing in the elevator. You know what I mean? Just get some hand sanitizer, make a show of it.
Don't be like Aaron, get in the elevator and go, oh my God, this corona's been just killing me.
And then 3 is communicate confidence with your team. No one wants to work for the boss where they say, hey, boss, are we going to be okay? And you go, no, we're all going to die. Right. You don't want to be... Hold me. No one wants to work for that boss.
Well, I'm going to kill myself, but I don't know what you guys are going to do.
Yeah, what you do is you have a big meeting of all your employees. You look at the oldest one and say, well, somebody here's a high risk. We're probably going to lose somebody in this group.
Yes.
I'm not sure who it is, but
Don't quote David Koresh in meetings, that kind of thing. Just say what you're...
Don't make a bunch of Kool-Aid. I'm actually stockpiling Kool-Aid right
and
now.
Nikes.
So
don't watch Red Dawn in the staff meetings.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Z, what's your final action item for the listeners out there? What's your advice?
Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. It's viruses, sicknesses, pandemics have been affecting this world for the history of man. It's going to be okay. You're more likely to be killed by a number of things other than
sharks.
COVID-19, okay?
Let me recount the ways. 167 of you will die today from the normal flu. 104 people die today from car accidents. I mean, think about this. They banned the NBA games for safety. They should just ban going altogether because people die on the way to games.
That's true.
That's actually
the cars are more dangerous.
They save more lives by banning people driving to the NBA games than actually being at an NBA game. I promise you.
Everyone just walk to the games.
I mean, that was just walk.
Save lives. Walk to games.
Save lives. Walk. Everybody walk.
So, see,
get rid of cars.
Do you agree that fear kills economies? It cures
fear
businesses.
Kills economy, and I promise you.
Kills...
Unfortunately, in my humble opinion, I think there's going to be more horrible stories coming out of them. I mean, you already see the airlines that are asking for $50 billion, $25 billion. Cargo planes or cargo lines are asking for $8 billion today in funds because they're going to run out of money. You're not going to have any money.
I just need $1 billion.
We can't. Well, that's coming hot there.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I picked the wrong week.
to quit drinking.
Okay.
Like
Picked the wrong week to drink a Corona.
Back to you. Okay, Z. So you're saying
what I'm saying is be calm.
Be calm.
Wash your hands for goodness sakes. Don't be touching your face. Use proper hygiene and have a little social distancing. If you see someone, if you feel bad, stay home.
Can we riot? I want to riot. I've got my riot.
No rioting.
Okay.
If you feel bad, sore throat, fever, coughing, upper respiratory, anything, it's probably not COVID-19, but just stay home.
Can you have a rash on your inner thigh? Don't
I
show
ask
it
you
to coworkers.
Don't show it to coworkers.
I have a serious question since you're a doctor, and then you can end Clay.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Oh, no.
So I don't drink anymore, but when I did drink, I drink a lot of Corona. Do you think I'm maybe like immune to it now? Or
I think it might be.
like do you think
there's
that's
allergy
a thing?
shots.
We're not
It's
done
like-
with the studies, but
Hey.
that could be a thing.
That's like allergy shots.
I
Yeah,
wanna throw-
you're
I
immune
want-
to it.
I want to throw a Corona party, and the cost of entrance is you have to bring a 6-pack of Corona.
I think
I'm in.
you
that'd be
I think
fair.
you auto wrapping your Lamborghini with a Trump pro-Trump auto wrap has definitely decreased your life expectancy.
I think that I'm just going to give myself coronavirus. Like, I'll do a video where I stab myself and then just fall over dead.
Okay, thank you for that approach. Thank you for that. All right, so we've got a bunch of successful entrepreneurs here.
I
We're
don't
doing
understand.
okay. We're having some fun.
We're all going to die!
Or not.
Hey, let's end the show with a boom, and then hopefully the planet doesn't blow up. Are you prepared?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
as always.
here we go. And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom!